So we finally got to see a little bit more of the human side of Patrick Mahomes. He wasn't Superman yesterday, but he was still good enough to get it done, and the Chiefs remain undefeated. What was your reaction, CC, to Mahomes' big night last night?
My reaction is Denver is one of the top 5 environments in the NFL. Now, you're talking about the Monday night stage, divisional game. This is the type of performance you want from your quarterback for the next 10 or 15 years. Like, you want him to be able to not have to always be flashy, but to have some grit, to have some moxie, to have some things that, it's not going to be easy for him. And when he faces Denver, it shouldn't be easy. With the defensive players that they have, the scheme that they run, pro football shouldn't be easy. So I like the struggle. I like the fact. I like being down 10 points in the fourth quarter because that's when you're able to see what teams are made of. Their offense is going to be spectacular. But if you're a Chiefs fan, you're going to have to hold your breath because that defense last night, I think they only were on the field 26 minutes. And we saw the damage that Case did to them. So, yes, Mahomes was spectacular. He saved the day. I love to see it. I love not his best game of the season, but what he accomplished, I think, was his best performance of the season because it's a message to that other team. It's a message to Von Miller. You see, Von said, no, I wasn't surprised. This is what we're going to have to expect out of Kansas City. So realizing how hard it is to win a divisional game on the road, I thought it was a tremendous accomplishment. I thought it was Pat Mahomes' best football game.
This was Pat Mahomes' fewest yards per attempt this year, fewest touchdowns this year, lowest quarterback rating this year. This was Pat Mahomes' best game this year because of what you said. They're in Mile High on Monday Night Football. Von Miller is locked and loaded. Bradley Chubb is getting his legs as a pro. That Chris Harris, still Chris Harris. That defense was there. They struggled early. Aside from Kareem Hunt, the offense was not clicking. And Pat Mahomes didn't make the critical mistake early. This is the game that I would have thought, okay, this is where he's going to have a couple picks because it's not coming early, because they aren't moving the ball, because he could get frustrated. He didn't do that. He got a touchdown with his legs early, and then in the fourth quarter was spectacular. The fourth quarter is where not only they won this game, but where Pat Mahomes had that signature moment, another signature moment, I would say, on 2nd and 30, getting him to a manageable 3rd and 7, and the big play to Demetrius Harris right there, which put him in position for the game-winning touchdown. The questions we had is, okay, how are they going to react on the road in a tough environment? Check. How's he going to react against a very good defense? Check. And how is he going to react when they don't jump out to an early lead? Because the Chiefs have been the best first-quarter team in football. Check. They were down 10 points in the fourth quarter. Denver hadn't lost a game at home with a double-digit fourth-quarter lead in almost 15 years. So all of those questions we had were checked, even though statistically it was clearly his worst game of the year. I think, I agree with C, it was his best game of the year.
Did you walk away from that game thinking, okay, maybe this wasn't flash in the pan for 3 games. This could be sustainable. This team may be that good. They understand how to face adversity. They know how to win. And it seemed like they were calm when they were losing, which are really hard things to see, something you talk about all the time, learn how to win, learn how to lose. Does it look like this Chiefs success could be sustainable?
Yeah, Nick and I have talked about Pat Mahomes. We did an interview with him.
Before he came into the draft?
Yeah, before the draft at Fox and everything. So we like his talent. We thought that he had a big-time arm. We thought that he had some intangible stuff, a lot like Baker Mayfield, but without the attention on him. So we liked him getting ready for the draft. We loved him going to Kansas City because he wasn't going to have to play immediately, and also because Andy Reid was there. And then now all this talent starting to mature around him. You know, this league is a situational league. You need to be in a good situation, and Pat Mahomes, for one of the young quarterbacks, he's in one of the best situations. And Andy Reid coaching him up. The reason you could see in yesterday's game, it's not just about potential. Man, they weren't trying to protect him. Man, he made a lot of plays on his own, but the flexibility inside that offense, like they weren't trying to protect him in the play calling. Like they felt like any play in their playbook, they can call it at any time, and you could see that. Them taking chances on fourth down early in the game, it lets you know the confidence that they have in their quarterback and the different formations and variations of attacking the defense. You could see that not only from the beginning of the game, but even late into the fourth quarter after the quarterback struggled. Andy Reid wasn't pulling back and being more conservative. So it's a great showing by Pat Mahomes, and Nick has been on Pat Mahomes for a long time, even before he went to Kansas City.
Listen, I think we knew at Texas Tech he had the arm talent. What we are learning now in the pros are his escapability, which how many of those highlights are out of the pocket. They showed a stat during the game last night that I couldn't believe. It was the most passing yards out of the pocket of any player in 10 years, had 192 yards passing out of the pocket. The poise we're now seeing, and the accuracy. I did not know he was going to be this accurate of a quarterback. Now,
well, this is the thing. He played that way in college, but because he's not one of the premier schools, we didn't give him credit for him being accurate. We just said, oh, man, this guy's a gunslinger. This guy runs around, makes plays. Oh, this guy is, Texas Tech's version of Brett Favre. He's the poor man's version of Brett Favre. If he had been at a different school, maybe we might have given him credit. But he's still drafted in the first round. Kansas City moved up all those spots.
It traded away. The Chiefs, and this is where the Chiefs deserve credit. The Chiefs were coming off a playoff year. Yes. Chiefs fans at the time did not want them to use a first-round pick, to use 2 first-round picks, essentially, on a guy who wasn't going to play. And they did it because they thought they had to trade in front of the Saints, actually, because they thought the Saints were going, and Sean Payton were going to draft him. So they move in front of the Saints to take him. I believe right now, this moment, the Chiefs are the best team in the AFC. Now, C brings up the defense, and the defense is incredibly problematic, and I can no longer bake into, well, once Eric Berry gets back, because I don't know what that actual prognosis is. But there is one thing, shockingly, this Chiefs defense does great, and last night was another example of it. They are the #1 third down defense in football. Teams against them this year are now 10 of 42 on third down, less than 25%. That is a way to be bend, not break. If you're giving up a lot of yards, but you can find a way to get off the field on third down, the Chiefs have given up as many third downs all year as the Patriots converted themselves on Sunday. So I don't know if that's sustainable. And you see, even Case, and he wasn't that accurate yesterday, sliced him up some. The touchdown run that Freeman had was embarrassing. They had 6 guys missed tackles. The defense is going to be a problem. But in a flawed AFC, when you have an offense this good and a coach as good of a...
They don't have to be perfect.
I don't think they have to be perfect. I just think they don't need a top 10 defense. They just can't have a bottom 5 defense, which right now we'll see if the third down defense can sustain them.
Kansas City Chiefs, now one of 2 undefeated teams in the league, 4-0.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.